Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of The Fad Show. So on this episode, I'm going to do something I've been putting off for a long time. I'm going to take my 2019 Golf Alltrack 6MT to get an APR Stage 1 87 octane tune. I'm going to do some before and after pulls, do some 0 to 60 testing, discuss the cost behind getting a Stage 1 versus a Stage 3 tune, and give a review of my thoughts and opinions of the APR Stage 1 87 octane tune. So stay tuned. So if you're not a follower of the channel, I've had my Alltrack for about 2.5 years now, and I bought this car right after the TDI emissions scandal. So it was when Volkswagen was doing that 6-year, 66,000 mile warranty. So I've been trying to get as much out of the warranty as I can, but I guess I've just reached to the point where I don't like to say I'm bored, but I just want to do something with the car, something different. So I'm going to take it, get the APR Stage 1 tune, have 32,000 miles on the car currently, and I'm not too worried about the powertrain warranty of the car because anything that goes wrong, I can fix it myself. And these EA88 Gen 3s are kind of a dime a dozen if something ever does go wrong. So at least that's my thoughts and opinions on that. So with that, let's take it to the tuning shop. We'll get the tune on it. I'll give you my initial impressions of it, and then I'll do some more analytical testing after that. So it's literally going to be a first start and drive with the 87 octane tune. I am in the middle of Arlington, Texas, so there's not going to be much room to stretch the legs. But I did want to give a first kind of reaction to it, so I'll do my best. That was a pretty easy process. It was like 45 minutes in and out the door. Get the car tuned. So no warning lights right now. Oil temperature is still pretty good. Oh yeah, definitely revs faster and way more peppy. Of course, I'm on terrible road. Oh yeah. Oh my god. That definitely woke this car up. That is way more shocking than I even thought it was gonna be. Holy shit, this feels like a completely different car now. I can't believe this is 87. Holy fuck. I mean, I was definitely expecting it to be faster, but that is way faster. Like, I wasn't expecting this to feel as fast as my 9.3 Aero, because the 9.3 Aero is like 258 horsepower, I think, and this is 234 with this tune, but holy shit, it feels faster than that car. Yeah, for like plus 65 horsepower and plus 75 pound-feet of torque, it definitely is a significant increase. Oh my god, it just pulls. It actually makes the intake sound better too now that I guess it's building more boost. When the wastegate opens, the sound is definitely better. Alright, well, I think I'll wait till I get on the actual road where there's any amount of room to... So I'm not sure what will be shown on video, but here is a 0 to 60, or yeah, 0 to 60 acceleration before and after my 87 octane tune. So as far as the numbers go, I tried to be as analytical as possible with my acceleration testing. That being said, my car is a manual, so there is a pretty big human error inserted just with that. It's also kind of odd that, or not really odd, but unfortunate for the testing that you hit 60 miles per hour pretty much right at the top of second gear, like right at red line. So it's like really confusing or kind of just like unnatural to either like stay in it and hit the 60 in second or to shift right there at third. I tried to be consistent. I think I just stayed in the second gear until I hit 60 and then let off. So I did 6 runs on the same course, forward and backwards, just to remove any wind or hill. It was pretty flat, but if there was any elevation change, that would eliminate it. Sorry it's so windy out today against my garage door. So the average before came out to be 8.25. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention is I wasn't doing an actual 0 to 60 because, no offense to you guys, I wasn't gonna abuse my clutch launching the car for this testing. So I just set my race timer to 5 to 60 and just did like a rollout. But anyways, the average before I did 6 runs, it came out to be 8.22 seconds. And then after the 87 octane tune, it was 7.05. So that's a 16% improvement. I don't know. I don't really know what that means. Definitely feels a lot faster to 60. And then I looked at the car and driver, what they got out of their long-term tester, and they had a manual to get 6.7 out of it. I'm guessing that was a pretty aggressive launch. So you apply that 16% improvement to that equates to 5.74060, which I think is really respectable for like a car that's most likely going to be daily driven. And that's probably like the threshold where it's like pretty much fast enough for every like normal day driving situation. You'll feel like you're not going to be able to get out of the way yourself if you have to or whatever. Makes merging into traffic easy. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was just the cost difference between going stage 1 versus like a stage 3 IS-20 or IS-38. So I actually did the math, and the APR stage 1 tune is $500. You might be in a state that has tax that gets tacked on top of that, or you might be in a state that doesn't have tax. But anyways, more or less $500. So what that equates to in a dollar per horsepower value is the 80, or I guess I did my testing on the 90, or I did my math here on the 93 because I figured that's what most people are going to get. Unlike me, I think I'm kind of an outlier that went with the 87. But the stage 1 horsepower gain for 93 octane is 80 horsepower off of stock. So if you equate that to $1 per horsepower, it comes out to be 6.25. And I was really torn when I got the stage 1 if I wanted to do stage 1 or go straight to a stage 3 IS-20, IS-38. But for me, when I was doing the math of like the money it would cost to go to a stage 2 stage 3 IS-20 or IS-38, it was like a significant gain. It just didn't really seem worth it to me. I may do it further on down the road, but it's kind of interesting, the math, and I actually did it for this. So if you're doing an IS-20 or IS-38, there's a lot of supporting mods that you need to get, or I guess you don't need to get, but APR says they're recommended. So, but anyways, the intercooler, I did all my parts based on APR's website pricing. Obviously you can get different brands than APR that are a little bit more affordable, but just for the purpose of this, since I got an APR tune, I just wanted to be consistent. So the intercooler is $893 right now from APR. You also need an intake, so I just did the PEX one that I have on my car, which is $180 right now. Downpipe, APR actually stopped making downpipes because they're afraid of emission stuff or whatever, but anyways, the price that when it was available was $900, and that's kind of consistent with the other brands that are out there. I guess there's like CTS, which is probably where the brand I would go with if I did it. It's a little bit cheaper. But anyways, downpipe about $900. Turbo kit, obviously you can buy a used turbo. Specifically if you're doing IS-20, there's a lot of people that take their IS-20 off of GTI, so you can get a secondhand turbo, pretty affordable. That being said, I just did like a FCP Euro ECS tuning turbo kit, which has a brand new IHI IS-20 turbo and then all the hardware for it, which is $1,031. And then you need obviously the stage 3 software, which is $750. So that's $3,754 in parts just for needed to do a stage 3. And I did the math for both the IS-20 and the IS-38. The IS-38 turbo is a little bit more. I think it's like $200 more than the IS-20. But I just kept the price the same for the two of them. So for dollars per horsepower, as far as that goes, horsepower gain for the IS-20 on 93 octane is 143 from stock, and then horsepower gained from stock for the IS-38 is 187. So if you do the math and equate that to $1 per horsepower, for the IS-20 that's $26 per horsepower, and IS-38 that's $20 per horsepower. Comparing that to the Stage 1, which is 6.25. Obviously the Stage 1 is a much better value, and I think would be more than adequate for most people, but yeah, it was kind of interesting to do that math and just equate the cost of them. Like I said before, you can get some of those parts secondhand or used. Specifically, like I said, if you're doing IS-20, I think it would be a lot easier to find a affordable turbo, because there's a lot of people with GTIs that will take them off to put on the IS-38 from the Golf R. So what are my thoughts and opinions on the Tune so far? I think I put a video clip in there of my initial reactions, and as you can see, I was definitely very impressed with the car. It makes the car significantly faster, like stop at the stoplight, accelerating off the line, 0 to 60, like merging into traffic, everyday use, like around town, I feel like is greatly improved. It makes the car feel fast. Like honestly, around town, like I don't think you would want any more. Like I don't think I would even consider doing IS-20. Just the one thing that is kind of lacking and that I'm not like fully satisfied with is just like highway passing, or if you're on like a dual lane road and you go past someone where you're already going like 65, 70 miles an hour, you're in 6th gear and you're too lazy to downshift, you just want to put your foot down and pass someone. That is like a little bit improved, but it's not like significant. And I think that's probably just based on the limitations of the IS-12 turbo. Like I think if you upgraded at that point to the IS-20 or IS-38, having a lot more low-end torque would probably be improved and make that feel a lot better. And the other thing that I don't know if it's just my intake or my wastegate actuator or what, but in that same situation where you're between like 2,000 and 3,000 RPM, and if you just put your foot down in like 68 gear, like to the floor, there's a little bit of like wastegate flutter, which I don't know if that's normal or if it's an issue with my car, or just the fact the only reason I can hear it is because of the open intake I have, but it's kind of annoying. But that's pretty much my only gripe. I mean, as soon as you get past 3,000 RPM, that goes away. In like all reality, you probably should be downshifting in that situation and not lugging the engine like that. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. Definitely like the acceleration off the line, like I said, is like night and day difference. And if that's all you care about, then I wouldn't even consider an IS-20 or IS-38. If you want some of that down low torque and grunt, then maybe consider it. But obviously the cost analysis is going to be something you need to do and figure out if that's right for you. For me, probably just going to keep an eye out on like Facebook Marketplace and eBay and see if I can find a cheap IS-20 turbo. Because I mean there is a small gain between IS-20 and IS-38, but I don't really care. And obviously I did the 87 octane tune on this car, and the reason I did that is because I mostly use the car for commuting and road trips, so there's really no point to me to pay $1 more for every gallon of premium when I'm not really using the car as a sporty car. I have other cars for that. So yeah, for the same reason, APR makes an IS-20 87 octane tune. So if I was going to do a turbo upgrade, I would definitely do the IS-20, and that's also more cost beneficial, just based on, like I said, a lot of people with GTIs take off their IS-20 with not many miles on it, and you can pick one up for $400 or $500 versus buying a new one for $1,100. So that's it. That's my review of the APR Stage 1 87 octane tune. Very happy. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention was fuel economy. APR claims on their website that there is a fuel economy gain from the Stage 1 tune, and I agree with them, but I'm going to add a little but or caveat to that. That's if you don't actually use the Stage 1 87 or Stage 1 tune. Like if you can keep your foot out of it and stay out of boost, then yes, there is an improvement in miles per gallon. I did like one tank where I just tried to stay out of boost and just do like a normal commuting, normal everyday acceleration, and I got like 1.5 MPG higher. Like before I was averaging 28.5 normally, and I think I got like 31, almost 31 and a half miles per gallon on that. I guess that math is bad. That would be miles per gallon more. I think maybe it was like 30 to 30.5. But there was a definite improvement, and there was times where I just did like the synth start on the display in there just to see what I was getting, and it seemed like if you're not using the boost at all, you'll get like 31 to 32 miles per gallon, which is much better than this car used to do. So there's an improvement there. That being said, if you are using the boost, then it's going to be the same, if not worse. The first tank I did after I got the tune, I was using every bit of the tune, every chance I had, and it was worse than I normally got. So yeah, there's a small benefit there, but yeah, a little caveat to that. So overall, I'm very happy. I hope this video is informative. I try to be as analytical and unrambling as I could be. If you really liked it, then go ahead and like and subscribe. I am going to keep my eye out for an IS20 turbo and supporting mods, and if I can get a good deal on them, then maybe further down the line I'll go that route. But for now, I'm very happy with the stage 1. It's a great improvement, and I'm very happy with it. So hope you guys like this video. And as always, if you really liked it, then go ahead and like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. Thank you. Bye.